Imagine going to sleep one day and then waking up 15 years later. It sounds impossible, yet it's true. There's a man named Terry Wallace who slept for 15 years straight. And when he finally woke up, he was a completely different person. Terry was driving home from a party when suddenly another car ran a red light and crashed into his vehicle. The impact was so strong that Terry's car flipped over several times before landing in a ditch. When emergency services arrived at the scene, they found Terry unconscious and barely clinging to life. I remember Mom and Dad arguing in the car, but the mystery didn't end there. As Terry began to recover, doctors noticed that he had aged. But his mind was still stuck in the 1980s. He had no idea that 19 years had passed since the accident. To him, it was still 1984. Terry's case became one of the most mysterious and inspiring medical cases ever recorded. He was dubbed the man who slept for 19 years, then everything went black. His first word after waking up was, "Mom." He was then able to stand up and take a few steps with the help of his physical therapist. But as the days went by, his condition began to deteriorate. He started having seizures and his speech became slurred. Doctors were baffled and unable to explain what was happening. They had never seen anything like this before. He was rushed to the nearest hospital where doctors performed emergency surgery to save his life. In 1984, Terry Wallace was a normal 19-year-old living in a small town in the USA, but one day his life changed forever. But as the days turned into weeks, it became clear that Terry was not going to make a full recovery. Doctors discovered that he had suffered severe brain damage and had slipped into a coma. After being in a coma for 19 years, he had finally woken up. At first, he was confused and disoriented, but as he began to regain consciousness, he started to remember things. He remembered his childhood, his friends, his family. But he had no idea that 19 years had passed since the accident. When he was asked what year it was, he replied, 1984. To everyone's astonishment, Terry was able to sit up and talk, but he couldn't remember anything after the accident. He had no recollection of the past 19 years. They told his family that there was no hope for recovery and that Terry would likely never wake up again. His family was devastated, but they refused to give up hope. They stayed by Terry's side day and night, praying that he would pull through. But everyone was shocked when suddenly Terry's eyes fluttered open. When he was asked what he remembered most about the accident, he said, after 19 years in a coma, Terry Wallace had woken up and said his first word, "Mom."